Sacred Symbols, a PlayStation podcast, is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Sacred Symbols Plus, a PlayStation podcast supplement. My name is Colin Moriarty. I don't really remember how to do these shows because I haven't recorded in like 20 days. But my name is indeed Colin Moriarty. Chris Raygun, my son, joined. Now, this is a different camera view for you.
Yeah.
It looks like, in a movie, they'll have, a bunch of various shots and then they'll have like a shot of a guy like frantically working at a computer doing something. And this is the shot that they would have. They would only use it for 5 to 10 seconds the entire time, Yeah. And your hands would be like going like this.
Right. We're going to break that record today.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm still trying to figure out the order of like where I should put things. I got a new, I bought myself a standing desk for Christmas, like a wider one, but I haven't figured out where I want the camera because on the monitors now it's a bit too high. So like, I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm okay. A little sick, a little under the weather. Feels like, dude, it feels like a flu, which is funny because I forgot what flus feel like, and it's silly. Like I feel silly right now. Like my body's sore. I haven't done anything to justify why it's sore this way. My eyes hurt. It's hilarious. But I'm here. I drank myself a medicine ball. I don't know if you ever had those.
What is that?
It's like a Starbucks drink, but it's pretty good. Like it's like steamed lemonade and herbal tea and like some mint.
It's literally a Starbucks drink.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
if you go there and say like a medicine, I don't think it's on the menu, but if you go like medicine ball, they'll give it to you. It's pretty nice.
Cool.
Been relying on it pretty heavily, but yeah, dude, the power went out earlier this morning, which like I don't know, being in a house with no power with the flu is a daunting. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be a bad day.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Read?
Like, you're gonna have to raw dog the flu. Just sit there.
Yeah, I was like, I guess I'll drink tepid water. And nothing else for the rest of the day. But power's back on. It may cut out. We'll see what happens. It's a bit of a chaotic day. There's a windstorm in Burbank right now. It's fucking crazy. I saw somebody's window already broken by a tree branch, and it's like, ooh, interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, it is interesting. Yeah. Well, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing. Well, I was before you got into it, I was like, are you sick or are you like sick? But you're sick.
Yeah, I'm both kind of. To be honest with you,
are you ill or are you ill?
Dude, it's just
and so on and so forth.
There's a novelty to this feeling, I feel.
Yeah, it's a delirium.
I haven't had a fever in a while. Like I feel almost like kind of like cheery about it because it's like, ooh, I'm dying. But everything's fine.
It's a sort of delirium. I totally understand what you mean.
Yeah.
All right. Dustin Furman, executive producer, wearing your Metal Gear Solid 2 shirt, I think.
Yep.
How are you today, my friend? Good to see you.
I'm very good. I just got my hair cut. And I stopped by the game store, and so I'm ready to be back recording. The audience is going to get Sacred first from us, but this is our first episode back together. But yeah, the weather's been a little crazy everywhere, Chris. I saw today, my dad sent me a garbage truck drove through my bank this morning, which there wasn't very many details. I only assumed that he slid into the bank. It looked like, like a really bad Batman villain situation. Like they just drove because dude, this bank is brick and it just went straight through it. That's
what you got to do if you want to get into that vault.
Yeah.
I would look into this guy. I mean, he accidentally broke into the vault.
That's true.
That's amazing.
Maybe, who knows? I might have no money left at this point. It's all been stolen by
FDIC insured. Don't you worry.
True. Oh, true.
Up to $250,000.
Well, I'm good then. Yeah. But yeah, other than the mysterious Batman criminal and getting my hair cut, I'm just fine. I'm ready to be back and record with the boys, and I'm very excited about this episode too.
Me too. I recorded yesterday from when we were recording this, so I'm a little bit back, because I did Summon Sign with Brad and Micah. But it is good to be back, good to record. I'm ready to go. I mean, I'm kind of like, I have a hard time with vacations. I was saying this on Summon Sign that I have a hard time getting away, but I actually did just not do anything this holiday for the first time in a long time. I played so many games Like so many games. Not so many. I mean, I played like 5, but
Right.
a lot of gaming time. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready to go. Like you said, these are going a little out of order. But this is good because this will make the regular episode of Sacred probably better. We'll be better. Maybe we can pretend. We hadn't seen each other. Put on a little show.
Sure.
For everyone. Here in, I'm sure you guys got, well, you said it because the guy crashed on the ice, presumably. But we got snow here in Virginia. We very rarely get appreciable levels of snow these days. And so we got like 4 inches cumulatively, probably, which is not a lot. For, I lived in Maine and New Hampshire and Massachusetts and shit. Like,
that's just crazy.
I remember walking I was thinking about this when I was walking the dogs. I was in 6th grade or something like that. So I was how many feet tall, but I remember walking out of my house in Maine with snow up to my chest. Like, so it must've been like 2.5 feet or more. Like, that's fucking snow. That was so great. Micah and I talk about moving to New England. Not now, but like maybe like in the next 10 years or so. I want to be around my mom. I want to kind of like hang out in Virginia with my mom, but we missed the winter, and actually it was kind of nice. Micah's a Western Massachusetts gal. She's a winter princess, and she went outside into the snow in our backyard when she was walking the dogs, and she got like misty eyed during the snow, like it was like snowing like really hard. And I was like, yeah, man, it's a nice New England vibe, down here right now. But then it melts all like that,
immediately, yeah.
But yeah, so it's good to be with you guys today. Well, should we save let's save all the Christmas stuff for the show, because it's I have a lot of questions, but why ask them now?
Exactly.
All right. It's time for the Sacred Symbols Fantasy Draft for 2025. For the uninitiated, for newcomers, what we do is we choose 36 games a year, 12 each. They go on a chart. Will you put this chart on the screen at this juncture, I guess, so you can see what we're talking about here? This is last year's chart, 2024's. And it's based on Metacritic scoring for PS4 or PS5 or PSVR related game releases. And we take the Metacritic score and we just divide it by 10 and we get a cumulative score. We pick 12 to give us an overage so we can kind of absorb delays and all of the rest. If you get, so the first 2 zeros you would get just don't count. If you go below that, then that 0 would count into your mathematical equation. Kind of like, how you would be in school sometimes. I don't know if this ever happened to you guys, but it happened to me a few times where it's like you missed a quiz or a test and you just get that 0. You have to absorb it.
Yeah.
So you have like 100, 90, 80, 70, 90, 80, 0. And then you have to divide it by that number as well. That's what happened to me this year with the fantasy draft. So fun game we play every year. People ask us, will we use the fantasy draft website, whatever that thing is? The answer is no. We're going to do it all by hand, like it's 1980. And we're playing fantasy sports with a newspaper. This was a good year. I mean, so congratulations, Dustin. You're the winner. We've all won once, I think. If I think
so.
You won last year. Not last year. You know what I mean?
23.
Yeah. And then
I think Chris won in 20. Yeah, Chris won in 2020. I think I won in 2022. I think Chris won in 2023.
I can't remember.
That's according to this tweet from LSM Last Call, which is I don't know who runs this thing.
That's Hodge.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
So Hodge, let's keep character a little bit, because I was scrolling through this and, it's like, what is it? Right? Is it like a thing where you're going to be quippy about things that have nothing to do with Last Stand? Or are you just going to talk about Last Stand? I just want a little more consistency, I guess.
Yeah.
Is what I'm asking for. But nonetheless, thank you. And it looks like the Dukes did theirs this year, and it looks like Cog won that one as well. They do it differently, I think.
I don't know what the fuck is going on in this Defining Duke one.
Yeah,
they've got all kinds of numbers, and
they have like a bench, it looks like, or BN, I would assume is, I don't know. Yeah, and they have like what is it? Yeah, I don't know how they play. But that's the beauty of it, is everyone plays differently. We play a little more straightforward, I guess. So we'll go around the horn. And I want to go into the scores from last year first, but just so people know, we go around the horn, we choose one after the other. There's only 3 of us, so it doesn't snake.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't snake.
No,
that wouldn't make it. It's too few people.
I don't think so.
And then just divide it, and it's just a fun little exercise to see how we can prognosticate the year to come. Just a fun little thing we do here on Sacred Symbols Plus, the fantasy draft. You can go back and listen to 2022s, 2023s, and 2024s as well. So again, Dustin, you won with 87.8, and then Chris came in second with 80.6, and I came in a distant third with 70.5 because I had to absorb a 0 into my score, which hurt me greatly. And I had Suicide Squad as well, which I think was the lowest reviewed scoring game was actually Foam Stars. That was chosen by Chris, but Chris didn't have to include that because it was removed from his list as it fell. So I think everyone understands the rules out there. If you don't, I don't know how to explain them any better. Let's have some reflections before we move on. Dustin, reflect on your victory. I'm going to go, Mike and I were just talking about this yesterday. I'm going to go and I want to get like a trophy and I'll get it engraved and stuff, and then we'll just circulate it around. So I'll send you a trophy in the coming weeks.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, my win, this is from last year, which I was last with a 67 average.
Oh, that's brutal.
Not a good year last year or in 2023, but came back strong in 2024 for the win with an average of 87. And the biggest piece of feedback that I got after we released this episode in 2024, I guess it would have been in 2023 when we released it, but for this draft selection is that people said, oh, well, Dustin just picked remasters and remakes. And I said, bitch, you don't make the rules. We do. And it counts. And I'm playing to win after that horrible loss last year. Playing to win paid off. And yeah, the thing that really, I'm looking at last year's too. The thing that killed me last year was delays. I had 4 games on my list delayed. So I had 2 of them disappear and 2 of them that I took a dead 0 for. Luckily this year, I did have 2 delays, but I was Suikoden 1 and 2 and a game called Ghost Spike, which is now called Wheel World. It changed names. Those are the 2 games that got delayed, so I was able to absorb those. But the thing that I'm most proud of, Wheel World. It's I don't know. It's from the creator of Nidhogg. So
yeah, I'm sure
it felt like a safe bet.
Ghost Spike must have been trademarked or something.
Yeah,
probably.
The thing that I'm proud of, and I guess Chris, you. Oh no, I guess you didn't quite pull this off. All of my picks green, not a single yellow, not a red. So all strong picks. Thank you to Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree with that 94, but also Metaphor with a 94 as well, and Final Fantasy Rebirth with a 92. So a lot of big games that really helped. What was my lowest though?
Well, for the audio listeners, I'll go through your list.
Sure.
Just so they know what you picked last year. So, and these are, I guess, read like English, right? Left to right, up and down. So, all right. So his first pick was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, 92. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, 94. Unicorn Overlord, 86. Metaphor ReFantazio, 94. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, 90. Stellar Blade, 81, which is a criminally low score for that game. Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail, 81. Braid Anniversary Edition, 86, which it seems like just came and went like a fart. 1 year delays with Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. I think that's coming out in March now. That was delayed, so you got a 0 for that. Animal Well, 88, which was a good pick. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, 86, and then Ghost Spike / Wheel World got delayed. But so those are 12 cumulative games, 2 zeros, so they're not absorbed into your 10. Just to reaffirm for the rules for everyone, since we're picking 12, it's basically the top 10.
Right.
And you'll see how that fucked me a little bit in my pick, but you'll see how it worked for Chris because he was able to drop his lowest score. Chris, let's get reflections from you. I'll read out yours real quick. 80.6 for the cumulative score. First pick to last pick. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, 89. Black Myth Wukong, 76. Persona 3 Reload, which is a good pick, 87. Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2, 80. I thought that was better received than that. Star Wars Outlaws, 75. Hollow Knight Silk Song got who the fuck even knows?
Yeah,
Foam Stars, it got a 57, but you were able to remove that, so it wasn't even included. The Plucky Squire, 77. Helldivers, 82. Destiny 2, The Final Shape, 90. Visions of Mana, 75. And Shadow of the Ninja Reborn, 75. So reflections on your list for second place.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering correctly, the rules last time, like I had to go last because I won the previous year.
Right.
So, I mean, with that kind of caveat in there, I feel pretty good about it. It's a little weird that Destiny is the only, like the highest score. I think that's like very funny and appropriate for me. But yeah, I mean, you know, you work with what you got in these kinds of games and in these kinds of drafts. And I feel like I didn't do too bad. There are definitely certain games that I'm kind of surprised. Like I do feel like Warhammer is like way low. Like that makes no sense to me. Plucky Squire, I expected to be higher, but like I can see why it's like at 70, or like in the high 70s. Visions of Mana I picked as like a Hail Mary. Like I have no idea about any of these games, so I kind of expected that to be just kind of like a bigger win. But
That was the game that came out where the studio closed before the game even launched.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Bad
man.
times out there. It's supposed to be very good, actually. But
Yeah,
um,
but yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty all right. Silk Song, I'm never picking again. I think this is like the second time I've picked Silk Song. I'm pretty sure.
it's
And I
gotta
think
be
last
this year, I
year,
assume.
and then last year, Colin was like, "It's gotta be,
Yeah,
it's gotta be this year." Like, what are they thinking?
yeah.
I'm over it. No more Silk Song. Fuck Silk Song. I'm out. I'm over it.
It would be hysterical if it never came out. But because I'm not like that enamored with I like Hollow Knight, but it's like people are obsessed with
fine.
this game, and I'm like I really don't care if it comes out or not. So I think it would just be funny if it never came
Just
out at all.
wasn't- Yeah.
Yeah. So talking about 90s, yeah, Destiny 2: The Final Shape was your top pick. Dustin, you had 4 90+ picks, including a 2 94s. You did a really nice job last year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too good. Cheated somehow. Went into the space-time rip.
Right. Yeah.
Slip space. I've been playing Doom. All right. And then finally, me. A precipitous fall. So it's 87.8 for Dustin, 80.6 for Chris, and then it falls more than 10 points to me to 70.5. Here are my picks in order from 1 to 12. Dragon's Dogma 2, 86. Rise of the Ronin, 76. Pacific Drive, 77. Mina the Hollower didn't come out, so zeros. Tekken 8, 90. That's my biggest game of the picks there. EA Sports College Football 25, 83. Little Nightmares 3, 0, delayed. Banishers Ghost of New Eden, 78. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, 80. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, 60. And I had to absorb that one. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, a 0 because it didn't come to PS5 this year. It only came to Xbox. It wasn't released in time. And Ayuden Chronicles 100 Heroes was a 75. So pretty bad. I mean, pretty bad showing. Peculiar picks. It's funny to see these picks through the lens of someone from a year ago. Rise of the Ronin could have been huge. I mean, I don't know. You know, like Neo was way bigger and more prominent than Rise of the Ronin, interestingly. But through the Neo lens, it's like, yeah, you would expect that to get a mid 80s, maybe. You know, Pacific Drive, I thought it was going to be way better, but it wasn't. What else is on here? Yeah, Banishers ended up not being huge. Ayuden Chronicle, people weren't crazy about. And Suicide Squad killed me. But people will notice, so I picked only 9 games that came out, so I had to absorb a 0. I think I ended up technically absorbing the 0 from Mina the Hollower. And then I had to absorb a 60. So that really destroyed me. And so a distant last for me. Not great. This year should be a little more interesting, I think, though. More games. Maybe not more games. Did you guys make a list of games? I made a huge list of games. I don't know. I wonder if we'll get through all of them.
Yeah. I remember it was either last year or the previous year. I pick as many games as I think might be worth picking. And then towards the end, I'm scrambling because there's not enough games left. So
Yeah.
I tried to put even more in this time, but we'll see if I'm still scrambling to pick a game like Ghost Bike at the last second. So I feel like overall, though, I was surprised there's a lot that we don't know about still. In fact, I'm looking right now at this GameSpot 2025 upcoming games. A lot in January, of course, February, March, a little bit in April. Rest of the calendar is blank as far as official release dates. Of course, many that are slated for 2025, but we're kind of in that. I can't remember if this is how it normally is, that we're kind of just guessing of, hopefully this game comes out this year. But
yeah, I don't think it's much different. I maybe a little more robust in years past with future dates.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's always like I went through different lists where it was like, these are 2025 games. And then I went through lists where it was like, these are just upcoming games.
Right.
And I tried to kind of cross-reference them. And there are some on my list for sure that are not going to come out this year or probably not come out this year, but I'm still maybe going to select a few of them. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to see what you guys have to pick here. Let's get into it, shall we? Are there any more reflections before we move on?
I think we're good.
All
I
right.
think we're good. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, guys, on a good showing, Dustin. Big victory for you. And I'm excited. Micah has already been looking. So this is how it all happened, is that Micah and I play just a one-on-one version of Pick'em for NFL games every year. So we pick literally every NFL game every year. There's 256 games. Well, actually, there'll be plus 16 more, I guess, because there's 17 games now. So we pick them all, just straight up, not against the spread or anything like that. And then we've been keeping this huge record on a whiteboard in our kitchen for years of like our records and how we're doing in it. And so we're going to get a plaque. Like, you know, like the employee, we thought it'd be funny to get like the employee of the year style or the employee of the month style plaque, where you have to like take it down and get the little thing engraved and then put it back up, you know, every so often. So we were talking about that and I'm like, dude, that reminded me, I want to get a trophy. So we're going to go discover the local trophy store. Like my hockey coach in high school, he ran the trophy store. There's got to be a trophy store around here for like, you know, kids, you know, sports and all, you know what I'm talking about? You know, you go in and you get the little, it's like the baseball player swinging the bat. And you get the little engraving on it.
I've never heard of a trophy store. Like a store is purely dedicated to trophies.
Like for plaques, trophies, and things of that nature. Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing it. There is a store near me called Awards and More.
Right.
So I've never heard of such a place, but
that would have required you to pick up a baseball glove at some point in your life, I guess, for you to have heard about that. So, or kick a fucking soccer ball or something, but you never did any of that. So.
I played Ultimate Frisbee.
Dude, I love Ultimate Frisbee. What a game!
I'm
a little surprised you played it. You had the athleticism to play a good game of Ultimate Frisbee?
No.
Okay, no.
And our coach did not give a single fuck either. I think it was like our second game. He's like, "Yeah, you guys are going to lose this game. I'm going to go coach the girls team. Have fun."
Nice.
And that was it.
Nice.
That was the second game, and that's when I realized this was a waste of time.
He was enthusiastic. I want to coach. First of all, I'll be serious and say I would like to coach youth hockey at some point. I think that would be really fun to do that. But now, non-serious but still funny would be, I want to be a coach like Coach Riley in the Mighty Ducks that coaches the Hawks. Where like I just have this group of like 12-year-olds that I've molded into this fucking killing force on the ice. You know, somehow you just, they really look up to you. They want to play at their hardest and they'll just do whatever. Coach, we're going to go out and beat this team 10-0 kind of thing. You know, and I'm the guy on the bench, like laughing, smirking as these kids are beating the shit out of the other kids. That's my true dream. My
memory of the Mighty Ducks was that I saw it on the info thing on cable, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I clicked it, and it was a hockey movie, and I was like, "Nah."
You guys have never seen the Mighty? You never saw?
No, I thought it was going to be like a cartoon about like, you know,
interesting.
Fucking, you know, battle ducks or something, and it was just a team, like a sports movie, and I was like, eh.
So I say this. Okay. I say this with. I know you guys are just going to go in one ear and out the other, and that's totally fine. And I totally respect that. The first Mighty Ducks movie is a really good movie. Has nothing to do with hockey, really. It's just a really great film. I highly recommend it if you ever come across it. It's about like a drunk lawyer who gets his penalty from the law is to like do community service, and he ends up being like the coach of this shitty hockey team. It's actually kind of inappropriate, and.
Right.
And the hockey team is like fucking garbage, and they're like, and they're from a super poor part of the city. So they have no equipment and like no ice time, and they're just garbage, you know, at playing. It's really quite cute. I wouldn't recommend the ones after that because those are more hockey movies.
Yeah.
But like the first one, not so much. Emilio Estevez, you know, he plays a guy named Gordon Bombay. That's his character in the Mighty Ducks. Gordon Bombay. And I have a Gordon Bombay Hawks jersey. So yeah, the whole Coach Riley thing is lost on you. So in the Mighty Ducks, guys, settle in for a second. In the so Coach Gordon Bombay, played by Emilio Estevez, is a hotshot lawyer in Minneapolis. He gets arrested for drunk driving, and he has to do community service. And it comes out that he was actually a very promising hockey player who once played for a local youth like travel team called the Hawks, and they still exist, and they're still coached by the same guy. And it's about how he becomes the coach of like the rival team to them, and ends up, you know, overcoming that obstacle. And it's super great. It's super cool. And so yeah, I have a real Mighty Ducks jersey and a real Hawks jersey, like real hundreds of dollars sweaters from those teams from that movie, which is sad. Sent to me by a friend from Adidas, actually.
Oh.
Okay. My friends, enough with the Mighty Ducks. Go watch it. Let's get into the picks. And I go first. So I'll go first. Chris goes second. Dustin goes third. I go fourth. Chris goes fifth. Dustin goes sixth. Right? Do we agree on this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not crazy about this first pick because I think it's actually incredibly risky. but I got to do it. Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this game's going to get delayed. The reason I say that, which is fucking incredible, it's like, just put the goddamn game out. We have fucking footage of it running, looking good like 6 years ago. Put the game out. But I don't know if you guys saw Jason Schreier in a Bloomberg report, unrelated to Grand Theft Auto, was saying that he wouldn't be surprised if the game was delayed. And I don't feel like that comes out of nowhere. Right. A few important kind of notes is that I feel like Jason's a New York-based journalist, and I feel like he's unusually well connected to a heavily New York-occupied studio, or really workforce, which is Rockstar. They're obviously all over the place, but they have a big presence in New York. So I feel like that doesn't come out of nowhere. And he was saying that it's because they don't want to crunch and deal with the bad PR. Mm-hmm. So I don't pick this with great confidence, but I pick this with the confidence that I think it's going to be a 90 plus Metacritic game. So yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6 is my first pick.
Okay.
Good one.
Thank you. Chris, it's on to you, my friend.
So my first pick, I'll go Monster Hunter Wilds.
Fuck you.
Fuck.
Okay.
I got it, man.
That has a date, right? In February.
I think so.
Yeah, that's definitely coming.
Yeah. And if there is a delay, it's going to be really minor. If anything.
Right, exactly.
We'll make the year.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably about to go gold. It's a good pick. Sounds like, Dustin, that was going to be the pick you were going to make?
Yeah, it was definitely going to be my pick. That's the one I feel strongest about being great. I've played it. It's great. So.
Oh, you played it? Oh, there was a demo.
Beta. Oh, that's right.
The beta. Right.
Beta was good. Liked it a lot. So that means I'm up, right?
Yep, your first pick.
For me, this one's for you, Lockmort. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Wow.
I really don't know anything about Kingdom Come Deliverance, but the reason I'm picking this as my number one, well, I guess would have been my number two, is I think review codes are going out 4 weeks early. In fact, they might already be out. I saw something about that recently, and that screams confidence. So, yeah, I know that there's a lot of people in our Discord and our community that are so excited about this game. I would like to play the first, but I haven't yet. So, but yeah, the fact it's going out to reviewers this early, I just feel like sounds good, like extremely confident. So we'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm looking here. Yeah, there it is. It's on my list. I had it written down. I knew it too. Micah just bought Kingdom Come Deliverance for Switch. The first one. Oh. I'm like, that's gonna be balls. But
yikes.
That's the version she wanted. She doesn't really turn on the I gotta be honest, she doesn't play Xbox at all anymore, really. I don't know when the last time she turned that thing was. There was something she wanted to play, a Yakuza game or something.
She didn't play Indiana Jones?
No, I don't think she would be into that. Or I don't think she gives a shit about Indiana Jones. She should care about Indiana Jones. But she, as a man, as a character.
Can we have a quick aside? We had a brief the only time we interacted over break was I told you guys I watched Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
The part of that movie where he picks up a flaming skewer and throws it at this guy and impales him in the chest. That's a top 10 moment, I think.
It's so cool. I love that movie, man.
I couldn't believe some of the things that happened in this movie. Amazing.
Dude, I was so pleased. First of all, yeah, I tried not to interact with anyone over break because I just didn't. Yeah. It's like I'm the last person you need to hear from. Definitely, like all of you. So I tried to leave everyone alone. But yeah, you tweeted on the group chat about really loving Temple of Doom, and Chris does too. And I was like, dude, like it's actually somewhat rare because that is also my favorite Indiana Jones movie, and people often like look at you like you're crazy. And I'm like, it's totally. First of all, I'm in love with the beginning of the movie. I think the beginning of the movie in that club is fucking dope. Such a great
with anything goes playing.
Yeah.
In like Chinese. It's so cool. Like I don't know. That movie has a lot of style, I feel. And I like the other ones too, by the way.
Me too. Well, the first three, I don't care for Crystal Skull at all, and I never even saw the newest one. So
I didn't see any of the older Indiana Jones, like the ones where he's older. Because I don't even doubt that I wouldn't even be surprised if people were like maybe overhating those movies, but I just personally don't want to see like a character I like old and decrepit. Like I don't want to see that. Like,
definitely not now because it's funny just in the sense that the first the fourth Indiana Jones movie came out so long ago that I saw it with both of my parents when they came. My parents are divorced and have been for many, many years, but they happened to have come to California to see me together. And then it must have been in like 2008. And we saw it in the theater, and then, so think about this. And then it's 16 years after that, they released the 5th movie.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, because believe it or not, I think only 18 years are between The Last Crusade and The Crystal Skull, which is crazy because The Last Crusade is 89. So it's so weird that it's like, I agree with you with the 5th one where I'm like, absolutely not. Like Harrison Ford is barely hanging on. He's crashing his airplanes. Just leave him alone. I couldn't believe, by the way, they got him at the VGAs, like how much they must have paid him to do that.
Oh, it must have been crazy.
Because this is the man that like was like, yeah, I'll do Han Solo, but you have to kill me. It's like, you're such an asshole. He does seem to specifically not like Star Wars compared to everything else. Which is true. Which I love. I personally love that about him. Have you seen him in interviews? He's like very funny. I almost want to see him in like him and Liam Neeson are two people that I feel like would do like a really good job in like a Naked Gun kind of, like, I don't even know, just like a deadpan comedy movie where they're playing it straight. I love Naked Gun. That's a good reference. He would be good at doing something like that. All right, it's time for me to go again. I'm going to go with Doom: The Dark Ages.
Damn it!
Fuck you, Chris.
Fair.
I am. We'll talk about it, and we'll have already talked about it for the audience anyway on Sacred. I played through all of Doom and Doom Eternal over the break, and so it's on the mind. And went and watched some videos of it recently, and we haven't seen too much of it. And I don't want to see any more of it, but I'm like, this looks so fucking good. So, and we know it's coming this year. It's a safer pick. I got to be more concentrative on my picks and not have any more zeros. I'm willing to play around with GTA and maybe one other one, but I can't be too crazy with it. So I know this game's coming out this year. Excited to see what they do with it. God, Doom is so fun.
It's great.
Doom 2016 is a masterpiece level game in my opinion. So shout out to them. Oh, and by the way, Kingdom Come Deliverance, I brought this up just for the last one. It does have a date too of February 4th. Yeah. From a rare Czech game. Not many games come from Czech Republic or whatever the hell it's called now. All right. Chris, it's on to you for your second pick.
Yeah. Well, that definitely would have been it. So I'm going to have to... No, I mean, it's the name of the game. I think I'm going to go... I'm going to go with Ghost of Yotei.
Mm-hmm. That's a safe pick.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to do... It's going to get the... Well, I don't know. We'll see. Like, I feel like there is generally, I don't know how drastic it is, but I definitely feel like it's there. I do think there is like a slight PlayStation bump, if anything. Although like that seems to be changing. I don't know. Maybe people by the point that this game comes out, everybody's gonna be like, oh, it's Sony. But I think it's gonna be great.
I love the pick. Yeah, I think that's a good no lower than 88. Something like that. No higher than 92. But that's a nice solid pick. See, GTA 6 I think would be a risky one because like maybe it sucks. I doubt it. That'd be fucking insane. All right. Let's see. I wrote these down. Yeah, Dustin, it's your second pick. You picked Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 first. So what is your next pick?
You just mentioned risky picks. I feel like this is slightly risky, but picking these games from this team have never wronged me, so I owe it to them. Elden Ring Night Rain is my next pick. I feel like it's a little risky because it is a game that is reusing assets, and it's very different for a From Software game in that it's a full multiplayer experience, but also can be played solo, but totally different. So I do feel a little unsure about it, but I often pick From Software games of the last 3 years. They have never done me wrong. So I'm putting faith in them once again with Elden Ring Night Rain.
Yeah, I don't hate the pick. Obviously, the industry is full of FromSoft stands too, so I think that helps a great deal. Oh, it's FromSoft. I'm going to infantilize Colin's gaming skills. Great. Like that's the way I feel when I play that shit. But I know everyone really loves it, and Elden. I wonder. Do people want to take FromSoft down a peg now? Is that the vibe we're going to get from this game, or are they just riding that high? And maybe I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I did see more consternation about it than I expected to, but it's still nothing to the degree of like I still saw more people freaking out about Kratos moves the boat the same way. Like that's
right.
So I don't know how to really gauge it. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll do really, really well.
All right. Yeah. Why not? This is the same way I feel about Naughty Dog in some sense. Like, why wouldn't you believe?
Yeah.
Until proven otherwise. All right.
Back to you.
Back to me. Death Stranding 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know. Like, how did the original Death Stranding do? Like mid-80s?
It was kind of softer, but I do think over time that game has accrued a reputation of a really solid. Like I feel like there's just kind of like an air around Death Stranding now that wasn't necessarily there at launch. That people are a lot more open to it and probably a little bit more. I feel like they have their expectations a little bit more in check with what Death Stranding 2 is going to be, and so I think that's going to score higher than. I mean, assuming it could suck, I guess, but like I very much doubt it.
Hey, I doubt it too. 82 on PS4, 85 when they released the director's cut.
Right.
85 is probably closer to right, but I think it's better than that personally.
Where did it score on? What did the Xbox version score? Because that came way late.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
That would be like a
Metacritic.
good Xbox because that came recently.
Yeah, that was view all platforms. Xbox 91.
Yeah, you see,
Oh.
it trends higher the more it sticks around. So, I think that's going to be good. That's a good pick.
I'm authentically excited about that game too. All three games I picked so far are games that are day one.
Yeah,
games for me. Actually, and Ghost will be a day one game. Nothing else for me yet from the other games though. But it seems like these are all. It's funny, like these are all games that Dustin would play. I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. You're going to have a busy year this year. It looks like. All right, so Death Stranding 2 is my second pick. That's a 2025 dated game, apparently, but we have no specific release date yet on PlayStation 5. And by the way, we should have said, did I say at the top that the games have to come to PS5, PS4, or PC, or PSVR, and we choose that particular score on Metacritic, right? So,
right.
Just wanted the rules out there to be clear. All right, Chris, time for your third pick.
Yeah, we're getting into that weird area now. You know what? I'm gonna go. This might be I really don't know how this is gonna go, but I'll go Metal Gear Solid Delta. I don't know. Like I feel like everything looks good, and I feel like if it's the same game from before, I don't see a reason why it wouldn't score highly. There's just like the kind of open question as to like how people are going to be receiving it, given all the drama around it. But I feel like I haven't seen much of that. I feel like I've seen like every time I've seen this game come up lately, it's been more like, oh, it looks good. It doesn't feel like there's like a lot of cynicism around it, or like that extra kind of lore is going to play into it. So
especially after we saw like gameplay of it, right?
Yeah,
it looks great.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like that's a slight risk, but whatever.
Yeah, it is a little risky, but you know what makes it less risky for me? I mean, not that it's the same studio, it's not, but because it's Virtuous, but as opposed to Bloober Team, but I'm playing through, and we've talked about it already on Sacred, but one of the games I've been playing through is Silent Hill, and as of the time we're recording this, I'm at the last boss, and I just put it down because I was like getting tired. I'm like, I want to kind of, and I know there's different endings and shit, and I want to kind of fuck around with it. And it's good. It's really rock solid. It's like very well done. And now two different teams, but probably the same line of producers and people at Konami keeping an eye on both of these games. And I would assume that Silent Hill 2's quality bodes well, actually, for what's going on with Metal Gear. I also think that Konami's treatment of some of its collections bodes well. Like there are people there that seem to get it, and they're not doing very much because they don't have the resources to do it. But I kind of believe in Metal Gear Solid Delta. Like, yeah, I'm definitely day oneing that as well. It better be all in Russian. All right, Dustin, it's time for your second pick.
I am locking in.
Or third. I'm sorry, third pick. I'm a fucking
third
asshole.
pick. Third
I'm a
pick.
stupid asshole.
Well, I don't know if that. I mean, does that make you an asshole? You
That
don't
was
have to be that
so
hard on
extreme.
yourself.
That was so extreme. All right.
Okay. Third pick. You know, for those that were bitching about my easy, safe picks last time, it starts now. Indiana Jones in the Great Circle.
Oh, nice.
Lock
Yeah.
in a nice. Let's see. I had it up a second ago. I think it was 87.
I didn't even consider that.
86 on Xbox and 87 on PC.
That was on my list. I wasn't going to pick it yet, but yeah, good choice.
So let's go ahead and lock that in.
Okay.
Some easy points.
That's good.
Some safe points.
Yeah, it could be no lower than that.
No, I don't think so.
And
unless there's something
probably
horribly wrong, but
yeah,
I wouldn't expect that from a machine.
No, I wouldn't either. Okay, great pick. Oh, back to me. All right. And I'm excited to play that. Do you guys play the Indiana Jones game?
Yeah.
I was playing it. I did not finish it though. I got involved in something else.
Oh, sounds mysterious.
Something crazy.
I'm looking forward to that a great deal. All right. Number 4 for me is going to be Borderlands 4. I think this is somewhat of a risk. I mean, I don't think it's going to be any lower than the low 80s.
Yeah, you figure like
which is strong enough. You know, I think its range is probably from 82 to 90, something like that. They probably could smash it out of the park, maybe even do better than that. But Borderlands games are very well received. I like the Borderlands games. Borderlands 1 is another game I played through all of over break for some reason. It was great. It was a lot of fun. Good reminder of the past. Not much more to say about this, but it was confirmed for this year, or that's what they're saying. I don't think they would have said it without some level of confidence. So I don't think there's any risk from that perspective. And the upside is not huge, but I don't think there's any downside to picking this game. So Borderlands 4 was my 4th pick. And this brings us back to Chris.
All right. So what number is this? 1, 2, 3,
4. It's 4 for you.
Okay, so this is the 4th one. I'm gonna go Split Fiction.
Fuck.
I think they know. I think this studio, it's Hazelight, right? If I'm not mistaken. I feel like they just know how to make a good ass game and a surprising game in like a very short period of time. It Takes Two, I think, was genuinely, from a design perspective, just one of the most brilliant things that I've interacted with in recent memory. The way that game just did so many different types of mini games as well as full games based around them is kind of nuts to me. And it looks like they're leaning into that specific kind of niche. It looks like they're jumping into this kind of co-op mini game, arena with this next one. Looks somewhat like a spiritual successor to It Takes Two. I think I just have confidence in this team. I think it's going to review super well. I think people are excited about things like this that are just a little bit different, a little bit more co-op. We love co-op here.
We love co-op. Yeah.
We love co-op. Oh, I definitely can't do that. Hurt my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Split Fiction's a great choice. It was on my short list too. Definitely high talent studio, good commercial success. They know what they're doing. I think you're totally right on that. All right. This brings us to you, Dustin, for your 4th pick. This is 12 overall.
I was about to pick Split Fiction. Chris got it, sniped it. That's fine. I said safe picks, but let's do one that's a little risky. High risk, high reward. Judas.
Ooh.
My next pick. We don't actually know if this game's coming out in 2025. We just know from that interview with Troy Baker,
right?
That said 2025. So the 3 games I've picked so far are for sure coming out next year. So why don't let's get a little risky? Of course, Ken Levine, in my opinion, maybe one of the safe. I would bet my life on Ken Levine if I had to.
That's crazy.
That's how much I respect him.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Well, you might be, because the stakes are high this year.
The stakes are high. Whoever loses is eliminated from the show.
Yeah, they're
in the
off
company,
the show.
you lose everything.
Yeah, you're out.
You're out.
You have to return everything that you've ever been paid.
All right. Number 5 from me. These are good picks, guys. I mean, I feel like we're doing pretty well. I'm going to choose Crimson Desert. The Pearl Abyss game. Crimson Desert began as an MMO project from an MMO studio, and it kind of turned into its own high style, high fidelity, open world action RPG. People seem to be really into it. So I put this pretty high on my list. I think it's maybe supposed to be the fall, and it maybe would get pushed out. So the major problem with all of this is what's going to happen with Grand Theft Auto. Because I just think that it's going to I think first of all that there are games that just shouldn't move, because I don't know that it really matters that much. But at the same time, it's going to matter for all the games released around it regardless. So in other words, you see a game like Crimson Desert and you're like, what is the crossover between Crimson Desert players and Grand Theft Auto players? And it's like, well, not much, except for the fact that like everyone's a Grand Theft Auto player. So you're just going to lose out. So I think some of these games that are probably Q3, Q4 are going to get pushed out. And what the greatest irony of all is if Take-Two holds its cards close to its chest, doesn't delay GTA 6 until like the summer. Everyone has already moved out of the fall, and now everyone's coming out in the spring instead, and there's nothing this fall, which would be bad. But that's my theory. I think that game looks great. So that's my fifth pick, and it brings us back to Chris for his fifth pick.
All right. I'm gonna go Civilization 7. I think that's I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I feel like this is kind of like a weird one. I don't really know what to expect of this, but I feel like this genre is just very, I don't know. I don't hear much about these kinds of games anymore, and so I feel like people are just gonna be excited to have a new one. I think Civilization's a big deal. I was looking at a little bit at their Metacritic history, and it seems relatively safe. Like even when things are kind of tumultuous, things are still pretty like they're never like 60 or anything. So I feel like people are gonna be into Civ 7.
Yeah, that was on my list.
It was on my list.
Yeah.
It is risky in that anytime a new Civ game comes out, everyone hates it. It's like, no, it's not like the last one. Every time people don't like the changes, but then gradually people come to accept them. But the question is, would that reflect on reviewers also, and not just what the general census is? But I think it's a good pick. It's not. I can't imagine it being, like you said, bad, like below 70 or something like that.
Right. So. Yeah.
All right. This brings us to you, Dustin, for your fifth pick.
I looked, and I'm pretty sure for the last last year, 2023 and 2022, I picked this game. So let's do it again. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster. The nostalgia is going to carry this one hard, as long as everything is technically sound with it. I'm very excited about it personally, and I've been confident so much that I've picked it. This is the third year in a row I think I've picked it. So let's Suikoden 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm looking. Did they yeah, it has a date.
Yeah, is it
of March 6th?
Yeah, March 6th.
So safe pick. Yeah, delayed just mildly. And I think the game could benefit a little bit too from the somewhat soft response to IU and Chronicle. Like I think people are going to want to go back to the source material. So I think I mean, every game that's been chosen except for Elden Ring has been on my list. So me saying this game's on my list doesn't really mean much when I wrote down like every game coming out next year.
Yeah.
All right. Next up for me, I'm going to go with Mafia, the Old Country, from Hangar 13, Take-Two, Northern California. I think they're in Novato. See what happens. I mean, the Mafia series is interesting because there's only 4 core. There will have been only 4 core games released over 25 years. It hasn't really been run into the ground. Actually, Warhorse, the studio that does Kingdom Come Deliverance, is the core of that studio is 2K Czech, which is the studio that made the original Mafia and Mafia 2. And they went on to make Kingdom Come Deliverance after that, which is interesting. So little connection there. But I don't know if this game's going to be any good or not. The one thing that I feel like is promising about it is, and we talked about this on the show, is if you think about especially Mafia 2 and Mafia 3, these are Mafia 2 is kind of guided a little bit more, not like The Getaway, but it kind of bringing you from point A to point B. Mafia 3, in my opinion, was too big. It's like one of the detriments of the game was just like, why is this map so fucking big? There's nothing on it. This game is a linear game. And that sounds nice to me. Do you guys remember, did you guys play The Getaway by chance on PS2? This Team Soho game? They had a really interesting thing where they would bring you from point A to point B and you would drive, but like you would drive a car in like on like a linear path. There would be like your blinker would go when it was time to turn. And so it gave the game a feeling of scale, but it wasn't like a world to traverse. And it just made the game easier to make and get out there. And I feel like sometimes you want to be able to dick around, but other times you just want to go from point A to point B. And so I'm excited to play more games like that. Actually, that's a major point of contention I have between Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, and why I think Doom 2016 is so much better, because it's like, why is there a hub world? Why are you giving me options? Just fucking let me play. Just bring me to the next place, you know? So that's my hope for the game. That's my number 6. Are either of you going to check that bad boy out when the time comes?
I think so. The fact that it's like an older Mafia game set like earlier in the universe has me a little bit more like, oh yeah, I'll jump in, because I don't feel like I'm missing like thousands of hours of story. I'm sure I'm sure it's definitely going to play into some stuff that happens in later games, but
it's like oh my god, it's the guy from Mafia 2's dad who sold me the Playboy or something.
Yeah. Oh my god, I recognize that last name. Oh my god.
So it's apparently slated for Q3. Take-Two Take-Two's got a pretty good year. I think apart from, they have their NBA game, they have like tennis stuff, they have wrestling now, but they'll have, if Judas comes out next year, Judas, Mafia, and Grand Theft Auto. Pretty nice. So yeah, Q3 slot from Hangar 13. We'll see how it goes. This brings us to you, Chris, for your 6th pick.
Okay. I'm going to go just because I have a good feeling about it. I don't know. Maybe misguided. We'll see. But I'm going to go with Claire Obscure Expedition 33. There's something about this game that is very alluring to me, which, like, given the style of game it is, I'm surprised by that. But it looks approachable. It looks cool. I dig what they're doing. I dig the concept. Hopefully they can nail it. And, it's a pretty unproven studio. So who the hell knows? But this is a gut feeling for me. I think it's going to be interesting at the very least. I do think it might be. It's potential that it could be divisive, but I'm hoping that it ekes out.
Chris, I'm sorry, Dustin, do you have anything you want to say about this game? Because I have something to say about it, but I don't want to. Yeah.
Not too much. Just that I totally agree that everything we've seen looks so good, but we just have no track record to go off. So it's one of those things where it could be the most beautiful looking game we've ever seen, and it just is shallow and boring. But I also had it written down that towards the end it would have been something I picked as well. So great choice, and a game that I'm very curious to play when it comes out. Yeah,
I had it high actually on my list, but and obviously, like you said, the studio Sandfall is a new entity, so we don't know how that's going to go. I think the reason I wanted to go last is because I don't want to squash the game and make it feel like it's a poo-poo the pick, because I think it's a great pick. But the reason I was nervous is because I just don't feel like it's going to come out this year.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
I was looking around and I'm like, they don't really say it's going to come out this year.
Yeah.
But why would you show it so early?
I feel like so much of it is done. Like they showed so much. Like they showed the game running, which I think is like a pretty good indication. I mean, generally, like I don't know, outside of like Xbox, where they show Fable running and they spend 6 years waiting to put it out. I think generally speaking, when a game is shown like hefty amounts of gameplay, or at least like a pretty hefty amount of like spliced footage, it's at least in the next like year or two. So like, I mean, this is probably like the one on my list that is like most likely to be delayed, I think. But on the off chance that it's not, I want to get it on.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick just because I think it looks awesome. I think it's going to be really, really cool. And I'll hope for a release this year. They're going to get a lot of attention, I think, when the time comes. Okay. Dustin, it brings us to you for your 6th pick. This will be 18 overall.
Okay, let's go with Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. And this is a game that I'm probably not going to play, even though I probably love it. The Yakuza series has eluded me still in the year 2025. But I think what's promising about this specifically is that everybody loves the wacky shit in Yakuza games. And so I love the fact they made a game that they just leaned into it fully and just made this absolutely preposterous looking game about a Yakuza guy becoming a pirate and making it as weird as possible. So, and these games always review at the very least in the 80s. So, at least I think they almost always are in the 80s. Let's see, Yakuza. Like a Dragon was 84, Kiwami 2 85, Yakuza 0 85. So yeah, I feel like it's an overall safe pick.
Okay. I'm going to start getting into some different stuff now as we're getting towards the tail end. We're not quite to the tail end yet, but the Rogue Factor developed game Hell Is Us.
Damn it.
This game gives me Resistance vibes just from it's the third person, so it's not a first person shooter by any stretch of the imagination, but just in like the alien grounded real life like supernatural stuff, but in like a war context.
Yeah.
As people might know, or maybe probably wouldn't because you're not a fucking huge nerd, Resistance's timeline is the humanity's timeline until the Tunguska event in the early 20th century, which was like an asteroid collision in Russia that really happened. And that's the arrival of the Chimera and all this stuff. So it's all rooted in like World War I and beyond that, everything kind of changes. Not unlike Wolfenstein, in some sense, where the world wars kind of change and the story revolves around all that stuff. But Hell Is Us is about, I'm pretty sure about like the United Nations, which is interesting, and a fictional country where like a peacekeeper goes to this fictional place that's like undergoing a civil war of some sort and finds that it's like all fucked up, like way beyond what anyone thought was going on there. And that sounds fucking dope. So the one thing that gives me a little bit of promise, and now, so this is where you get into some muddy territory, because this is what Sony did with like Pacific Drive and shit, which was good, but not, this amazing game, is like Sony seems to be into this game. And if you go to upcoming PlayStation games on PlayStation.com, Hell Is Us is one of the prominent games that's shown. So I think this game sounds fucking cool. Who knows if it's going to be any good? I don't know if you guys have been keeping an eye on it at all. It's slated for 2025, and we'll see if it makes it or not. Okay, that brings us to you, Chris, for your 7th pick.
Oh man, yeah, we're getting into the weird ones now. I have picks that like I'm not confident will make it. You know what? This is potentially a bad idea, but I'm gonna go The Outer Worlds 2. This is slated for that year.
Oh yeah, I think it'll make it. I think it's gonna be a spring game. That's another 2K game, by the way.
Is it? Oh yeah.
Oh, no, actually not anymore. Now, what am I saying? That's a Microsoft game now. Yeah. Well, because the first one was a Private Division game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
Jesus Christ, man, they're releasing all their games at the same time.
Yes, I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous about this one because, I mean, I like The Outer Worlds quite a bit, but I don't know. The fact that they're putting out Avowed and GTA is just sort of looming, and I don't know. Maybe they push it. I don't know. I'm worried about this one, but I think it'll be good.
I think it'll make it. I think that's a safe pick. See how it does. People seemed a little lukewarm on it, which I thought was weird. I was like, this looks just like the first one. If you like the first one, why wouldn't you be interested in this? Especially because they haven't done anything with it, and it's 6 years. It's like, that's a perfect amount of time,
Yeah.
Okay. Dustin, this brings us to you for your number 7.
Yeah, for my number 7, I'm going to go with the Talos Principle Reawakened. I've always wanted to play the original. I haven't gotten to it, so this was the chance that I'll get to play it finally. This game is coming out for PS5, and the original, I'm trying to find a date too. The original scored in the 80s as well. So let's see if this has a date on it. Just 2025 right now.
Oops, sorry, I was muted. Okay, that's a good one. That was only the second game that was not on my list, actually. So good selection. Okay, this brings it back to me for number 8. We're getting pretty late now, so now we're in the tail end. I think 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we each have 5 picks left.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Atomfall, which is a game that does have a date of March 27th. This is a game from Rebellion. It's actually being self-published by Rebellion as well. Rebellion is best known for the Sniper Elite games and the Zombie Army games. You know, a somewhat renowned, rare independent studio. This game is pretty cool. What I really like about it is the British setting. I'm tired of American settings. I'm especially tired of post-apocalyptic American settings, with rare exception. Things that are already established are cool, but let's explore other parts of the world. I feel this way about GTA as well. I was kind of hoping before we saw GTA, it's like, it would be nice if it was somewhere else. So this takes place in Britain it's a 1980s British post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear war setting. Pretty fucking cool. So I'm hoping for the best. Now, I don't know if it's going to be mega serious like some of their sniper games where it's like, you got to fucking arc the bullet, you know, and shit like that. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? But as long as it plays straightforward, I think I'll be into it. So I'll be interested to see how people feel about that one. But that's my 8th pick. And this brings us back to Chris for his 8th pick.
Yeah. You know, I'll go potentially risky too, but I'm going to go Little Nightmares 3.
Yeah. I just got last year.
Out. Yeah.
That's coming this year for sure.
Yeah. I feel like it's...
Might even have a date. Let me see.
Yeah. I really loved the original Little Nightmares. I haven't finished 2 yet, but I think those games are really cool and interesting and very weird. Like there's a style to that type of horror game, a horror platforming game that I really, really love and adore. Reminds me a lot of like kind of like the lineage of like Limbo and things like that. So looking forward to seeing what this is. It got pushed out of last year, so I feel like that makes it pretty certain for this year. But
definitely, I'm looking here. They delayed it last spring. So
right, yeah. Last spring though. That's a while. So like it's I don't know. I'm traumatized by fucking Hollow Knight, quite frankly.
I understand. Hollow Knight still lingering there as well. Supermassive is making this one as opposed to Tarsier, so it'll be interesting to see if that changes anything for the quality up or down. Bandai Namco obviously still acting as publisher. All right, good pick. This brings us to you, Dusty Boy, for your 8th pick overall.
I'm picking another game that I don't know a lot about, but I feel like is safe, and that's 2 Point Museum. This is part of the 2 Point series. I think there's 2 Point Hospital, 2 Point Campus. They always review very well. It's a locked in, what's the date? February 27th. So no risk of it not coming out. This actually looks like a game that I would really like in terms of management and designing a museum, stuff like that. So yeah, 2 Point Museum.
I'm going to get a safe pick here just as far as the game that's definitely coming out this year. It's coming out imminently and should do pretty well. It's getting pretty well received because it has a demo out there, which is a Dynasty Warriors Origins. It's from Omega Force and Koei Tecmo. So nothing much to say about that, but I'm going to throw that out there. Dynasty Warriors Origins. I think, let me see here. Dynasty Warriors Origins. Oh my God. I mistyped it so bad that it had no idea what I was even trying to say. All right, there we go. Release date for Dynasty Warriors Origins, January 17th. So really soon. So we should have a score one way or the other soon. So yeah, I'm not going to play it, but it is on my list and might as well get it out there. It's actually the first game on my list. Maybe it's because I was looking at games in the order that they were coming out. All right.
Yeah.
This brings us back to you, Chris.
Do I want to do this? You know what? Yeah. You know, it's a last shot with Ubisoft. We'll see how this Assassin's Creed does. Why not?
Okay.
I was thinking earlier, I'm like, it's this late and there's a surefire AAA game that
I know.
none of us feel that confident about.
I don't know, man. We'll see. Like, I will say, what I have seen of it looks like the Assassin's Creed that I would want. Sincerely, like there is actual stealth shit. Like it looks like more well put together. It's just a matter of like whether or not people give a shit, you know. And that's kind of a big, kind of up there question. I kind of doubt it, especially because Ghost of Yote is presumably pretty imminent as well. So you've got that kind of like inherent competition where people are going to be looking at this and they're going to be like, well, yeah, Ghost of Yote is right around the corner. But I don't know. It looks appealing to me at the very least. Whether or not it'll actually land in a good way is another question altogether. But I figure I might as well take some risks.
Why not, my friend? All right. This brings us to you, Dustin. And by the way, I just said on Assassin's Creed, I think it's going to be probably great. It's not for me, but I don't feel like it's going to be a bad game. You know, it's a matter of how it sells. I think that's a different story.
Right.
All right. Dustin, your ninth pick.
For me, let's go. It sounds fun. Let's go with Baby Steps.
Okay.
The Devolver Digital game.
Oh, yeah.
It's about a man-child in a onesie that you make him walk baby steps. And I think is Sony pushing this one?
Yeah,
it was revealed.
I don't know if it's a timed exclusive or if it's everywhere, but they're definitely promoting it.
Yeah, it looks fun, and Devolver has a pretty good track record as well. And I'm definitely going to play it because it looks cool. So I don't know if it has a release date though. Let's check. Baby Steps. I don't think it does on Steam. No release date yet. Just 2025.
Okay. Very well. Let me see here. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of a risky one because of its. Yeah, I'm gonna not do that. No, you know what? I will do it. No Rest for the Wicked.
Ah.
It's been in early access, I think, right, for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people are like wild about it, but we're kind of I have a couple picks I want to make last. And so this will be maybe the last conventional pick I make. This is, of course, from Moon Studios, the guys that did Ori. And it's an action RPG. It looks great, but I don't know. I'm looking here on Steam, mostly positive reviews and recent reviews mixed. But I guess they're fucking with it on the fly, probably. Right. So we're not. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a good pick or not, but that's what I'm going to put here. No Rest for the Wicked. Okay. This brings us back to you, Chris, for your 10th pick.
Yeah, man, we're really in the weeds with this now. Everything from here on out is like very unconfident. I think, is this confirmed for? Hold on, I just want to make sure that this is. I checked earlier, but now I, for some reason, doubt myself. Where? Damn.
You say like what? Gordon Ramsay. Damn.
Oh, damn. Oh, fuck me, man. This is, I think, you know what? Is this coming to PlayStation? I can't find it. I was going to say Subnautica 2, but like it's early access.
Early access PC, I think.
I'm sure it will, but I don't know.
I don't want to fuck with that. You know, I'm going to go with this East.
Oh, the Oath of Felghana?
Yeah.
That's a really imminent release, but I don't think it's out yet. I don't think its embargo broke yet. So I think it comes out in like days. I'm fine with that.
I have no idea what East even is.
What's the subtitle?
Oath of Felghana.
The Oath of Felghana. East. That's the most nerd slop subtitle.
You've broken your covenant.
I think it's Oath of Felghana was a PSP game, and I think it's a remake of East Wanderers from East. which was an SNES game, but I don't really know. It's an action RPG.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I think it comes out the 10th. We're recording this on the 7th.
We'll see.
Something like that.
Something.
Well, it'll probably review well. I think the East games do pretty well, but maybe I'm totally wrong on that. I reviewed a few of them, I think. Well, I know. Okay. This brings us to you, Dustin, for your 10th pick.
So I have a question for you guys on the fly. I need to know if you guys think this game's legal.
Yeah.
Okay. Path of Exile 2. It was released in early access in December. On Metacritic right now. There is no score for it, and it's not in its official release, but you can buy it and play it on PlayStation.
In early access.
I think that's fine. It just depends on whether or not it comes out, I guess.
There's not a single score.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Path of Exile 2, I didn't even think about it until now, and it's an extremely safe bet. I've played it myself. It's fantastic. Free-to-play, Diablo-style game. Highly recommend it. And yeah, so right now you can pay, I don't know, $30 to play the early access version, but at some point this year, it'll be free to play.
All right, we're in our final two now. I know my final two, and I don't think you guys are going to interfere with either of them, so excited to get to these.
I have a prediction on what one of them is. We'll see.
Really? Okay. Well, number 11, I'm going to make Lunar Remastered Collection.
Oh, okay.
I feel like this is going to be great. I'm excited for people to experience these games for the first time. I think they're going to be very well received. They're beautiful. They're anime. They're ahead of their time. And yeah, I'm amped up to get these games back. These old Sega CD games I first experienced on the PS1. They really haven't seen any release since the PSP. So yeah, Lunar Remaster Collection is my 11th pick. Very confident in that. I think that's an easy or low to mid 80s sort of thing. So I'll absorb that. This brings us back to Chris for your 11th pick.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of looking at these types of games. It's like I wasn't really sure. But I'm gonna go if you're going Lunar. I assume this is legal as well, but I'm gonna go with Capcom Fighting Collection 2.
Oh yeah, that's totally legal.
Yeah, cool.
Rollback netcode.
Wave dashing. It sounds so much more like pathetic with like a stuffy nose.
All right. Capcom Fighting Collection 2. I think that's the spring, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And then Dustin, that brings us to you for your 11th pick.
So we have two more then.
You have two more.
I have two more. Let's do it. EA Sports College Football 26.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Was that not it, Colin? Was that not your pick?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm hoping that's just some easy points there. Since last year reviewed well. Though sometimes every once in a while, doesn't like a Madden game come out as a real stinker?
Yeah, but there's going to be a love affair with this game for a few years at least, until people have real expectations of change. You know,
right?
That was on my list, like my short list too. I just didn't go in that direction. I think the 25, I think did 83 or whatever. So I think that's yeah, I think 85 probably is what that's going to get. So I think that's a nice pick. All right, my last pick, Forza Horizon 5.
Oh, I was wondering if you were going to be ballsy enough to pick an Xbox game.
Yeah. The game is apparently done and is ready to go. That was according to some of the rumors that were circulating. I wouldn't be surprised about that. This is one of the games that's been long targeted. This is a really well received game that I think will sell hundreds of thousands of copies probably on PlayStation. So it came out in November of 2021 on Xbox and PC. And I expect its PlayStation 5 release to happen this year. I was thinking about what I wanted to put an Xbox game at the end, and I was like, well, what it will be. Age of Empires, I think, is going to come. Maybe you get something like Day and Date with a Fable or something or whatever, but I doubt that. So you could be really bold and be like Halo, Master Chief Collection, or something like that. You could even make things up like a Gears trilogy. I was like thinking about it, but I wanted to make sure my last pick was this. So Forza Horizon 5, I think, is a good pick. And by the way, it's a 92 on Metacritic. So
that's good.
I think it's the highest scoring Xbox first party game in many years. So we'll see how that goes. All right, Chris, your final pick.
All right. I'm gonna go with Arc System Works. I'm gonna go with Double Dragon Revive or Revive. Yeah, I don't know. I think Arc System Works makes pretty solid stuff. I personally don't like the way this looks, but I think people will like it.
They this game does have a release date, I think, and I think it's a fall release date.
Well, it's October. So we'll see. I mean, maybe GTA comes out and everybody's like, just kidding.
They announced that more than a year before it was coming out, though. I feel like that's the date.
I feel like it's two, but like,
we'll see.
Who the hell knows?
All right.
But yeah, Double Dragon Revive.
Cool. Final pick for you, Dustin.
Let me decide. Let's lean into the weebish tendencies. Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak 2.
That was on my list.
Yeah. I'm not going to play it. Don't care what's going on in this series. A solid 80.
Yeah.
Lock it in.
That's what you need. You need that. Yeah, that was on my list. And Trails in the Sky, the first, was also on my list.
I didn't even... they all blend together in my brain. I just saw it on the list.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
Trails in the Sky with Diamonds.
Yeah.
Shout out to Falcom, just doing it. Falcom makes both the East games and the Trails games, so they're doing a lot. All right, let's go through the list one more time, and I'll read them out here, and we can reflect. So we'll go team by team. Dustin, let's start with you. Your picks were Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Elden Ring Night Rain, Indiana Jones, Judas, Suikoden 1 and 2, Yakuza, Like a Dragon, Hawaii, whatever. It's the Talos principle, right? I can't read my handwriting. Yep. It looks like it says the Tabs principle. 2 Point Museum, Baby Steps, Path of Exile 2, EA College Football 26, and Trails of Daybreak, or is it from? I don't know, who cares? 2. Reflections.
It's last year I felt really confident with games like Rebirth and Elden Ring and stuff like that. I still think I have some solid picks. Like I'm really confident in Kingdom Come. Confident in Indiana Jones, of course. There's a lot of really safe picks. Safe picks is what won me last year, so I'm happy to do that again. The game, let's see, which game am I most unsure about? I'm unsure if Judas will release. I think it's highly likely, but possible I could take the L on that. And then...
Yeah, like what are your two that you think you'll either take a 0 or a low score on?
Yeah. So Judas is one, and maybe Baby Steps. If the concept doesn't work, but at the same time, I have confidence with Sony being behind that and pushing it. Ironically, Elden Ring Night Rain, I actually do feel hesitant about. I don't think it's like a guaranteed locked From Software 90 plus. I think at the absolute worst, it would be in the 70s. But most of these games are definitely coming out this year. I think Judas is the only one that I would be unsure if it comes out.
Yeah, so, I agree. You should have a score that won't have to absorb any zeros. I was looking at your list. It's like there are only 3 games on your list that I'm going to even buy. Indiana Jones, Judas, and Suikoden 1 and 2. And I'm not even really sure. I'll buy Suikoden, but to show it support, but I'm not even sure I'll ever get to it. Yeah, because it's just, but I want to show them support. So it is an interesting list, and we'll be chronicling it throughout the year. All right, Chris, your list is as follows: 1 through 12. Monster Hunter Wilds, Ghost of Yotei, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Split Fiction, Civ 7, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. I have E33 written here. The Outer Worlds 2, Little Nightmares 3, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ys Oath of Felghana, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, and Double Dragon Revive. Reflections.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the first half. The second half is a lot more like kind of like wishy-washy, uncertain. A lot of these games, well, some of these games I just have no idea about, like straight up. Like I have no idea what an Ys game even looks like. Although I bet I can imagine. So I think we'll see how those things go. Those feel like a little bit like a Hail Marys. I guess the one that I'm most trepidatious around. I feel pretty confident with most of these. I just feel like maybe Assassin's Creed Shadows and Metal Gear Solid Delta, just because I really don't know. Because the Metal Gear Solid collection that they did put out with, I believe, 1 through I believe, like Metal Gear 1 and 2, and then Solid 1, 2, and 3, did kind of launch a little bit fucked. It's better now, but because this is like a from the ground up like remake, and it's borrowing very, very heavily. Like it's not like a reimagining. It's not like a Final Fantasy VII remake type situation. I feel like it's relatively safe, but it really depends on how people respond to it, knowing that it's not a Kojima thing. I know that kind of plays into a lot of this, but that one and Assassin's Creed Shadows, I really don't know, because Assassin's Creed is kind of all over the place. Like I look at the Metacritic for Assassin's Creed, and some of it's like 69, and some of it's like 9. It's a complete Hail Mary. But if there ever was going to be a modern Assassin's Creed game that did score on the safer side, I feel like it would be this one. It just looks a lot more promising than most of the ones that I've seen.
I'll tell you right now, if Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't good, Ubisoft's done.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
like as we know them, they're done.
They're arguably done already, but like, yeah, like I think that'll be a nail in the coffin for them. But everything else, I feel pretty confident about. I'm pretty confident Civ 6 is going to be good. I think Monster Hunter Wilds is obviously, I think, going to be really good. Ghost of Yote, Split Fiction, I'm pretty confident in. And I guess there's like some that are lingering as to whether or not they'll make it. Like Outer Worlds 2, like I'm not as sure as you are. I think it's got a pretty good shot. I just think like 2 RPGs from the same studio that close in a year that does have this kind of behemoth, and they haven't really committed to a day. Like I guess that's the one that I'm worried most about, because I think that's the one that has the potential to score well while also having the potential to just not be included. So like I guess that's my biggest concern is Outer Wilds 2, or the Outer Worlds 2, not Outer Wilds. I always make that mistake.
Yeah, me too. Clair Obscur, I think, is your most risky game just from a timeline perspective, but I think you have a pretty good list. Mm-hmm. All right, and then my picks 1 through 12: Grand Theft Auto 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Death Stranding 2, Borderlands 4, Crimson Desert, Mafia: The Old Country, Hell Is Us, Atomfall, Dynasty Warrior Origins, No Rest for the Wicked, Lunar Remastered Collection, and Forza Horizon 5. There's obviously some risk built into this, because I GTA 6 I really do think is a coin flip, but you definitely want it on your list. It made me a little less risk, it made me more risk averse, I should say, later in my list, because I just didn't want to absorb a 0. Crimson Desert is probably the other risky game from a timeline perspective. I think it's Q3 right now. And No Rest for the Wicked, who knows? That could be a risky game too. I'm pretty confident. I think those are riskier than Forza Horizon 5, to be honest. If it's true that there's a build just waiting, then I feel like they're just kind of waiting for the time to get it out there, and you don't want to sit on it for too long. The other thing I'll say about my list, unlike, do I still have it up? Yeah, last year's list. There were some games that I wanted to play on it, but it really was a list I was making based on, I was making the list from the same place I made this year's list, which is like what games are going to do best. But there happens to be a list of games that I want to play, like GTA 6, Doom, Death Stranding 2, Borderlands 4, Crimson Desert, Mafia, Hell Is Us, Atomfall. Like my first 8 picks are all games that I'm going to play. And then No Rest for the Wicked I'll probably play, and I'll play Lunar. So that's 10 of 12, which is pretty crazy. And I didn't mean for it to go that way. So
I'm surprised you had I was kind of saving Hell Is Us, because I figured none of you would pick it, because I thought it looked pretty cool, like whatever it is. Because I remember looking into it like over the weekend, or not over the weekend, over the break, and being like, "Ooh, this kind of looks sick." I feel like that was a pretty solid one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and your list, Chris, on yours, like I'll play Ghost, Metal Gear, Civ, Claire, maybe the Outer Worlds too. I was thinking about getting back to the Outer Worlds, but I don't know. And that's about it. But there are a lot of games. I mean, this exercise is fun because it just shows how many games really are coming out and how many things there are to play, keep busy with. So it's good stuff. All right, that was fun. That was a good exercise. Appreciate. You said this was Hodge doing the scoring.
Yep.
So thank you for doing that. Good job. And sorry for whatever the Dukes are doing with their weird nebulous calculus math.
It's math that's above my pay grade for sure.
Trust me, it's way above mine. All right, my friends. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. This was a good conversation. Any closing thoughts, Dustin?
Closing thoughts. I never feel confident after this. I didn't feel confident last year or the year before. So sometimes it's rightful, sometimes it's not, because I ended up winning. So it'll be fun to see these play out. Of course, you can follow the LSM Last Call account, where he tweets out updated images every month if you want to follow along. And here's to another great year, boys.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back in the saddle. I'm like ready. I've been ready to go, so good to be doing these shows with you. Chris, closing thoughts.
I just had the thought of like, if two things happen, if I come in last and GTA 5 is delayed, I'm gonna have a field day next year. So I kind of hope that one of those things happens, but we'll see. We'll see. I feel pretty good about my list. I like these. These are fun. I like that they pop up every like so often throughout the year too. Like whenever there's like an update, we get to see the scorecards kind of change. It's fun. So,
yeah, it is. It is cool.
This is fun.
I like playing games, and I'm kind of preliminarily been talking with Brad, and we have a lot more to discuss. But it's like we are going to bring the Sacred League back. Like I like playing games and like betting on things and like getting these long-term things going that have payoffs and stuff. I think it's fun. And I think getting the audience involved, I think people really enjoy it. So, but I have to admit, I like doing this, and I like doing the end of the year shows as well. Like the reflection shows and the prognostication on the future shows. Cause it kind of it's like any learning. It kind of just imprints it better in my brain, like one layer deeper. It's like, yeah, let's review one more time before we move on. Let's look forward. So this sort of thing gets the games in my head. It's like, yeah, this is what's coming out. So I have to say, from a selfish point of view, I enjoy doing these as well. All right, my boys. Thanks again for your time. Dustin, how are we going to play this now? Because we have a little something to put here now, right? So
yeah, we're going to do the results of the Game Awards betting. We haven't recorded it yet, but you're going to see it right after this. So yeah, the first episode of Sacred of this year will not have the punishments, because we don't, us right now don't know.
Yeah, Brad told me that he knows who won, but I was like, yeah, I don't want to know. So
yeah.
So yeah, we'll get into that. Let's get into it now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while, but today is Judgment Day. The results of our the Game Awards 2024 predictions. Jeff Keighley's birthday party. We're back. It's been a while. We did this early December, I believe, the original predictions, but now we got the results. It's payday for someone. We shall see.
I'm nervous.
Just to reiterate the stakes real quick, the losers must get a Naruto headband, get their village, any village you can get, anything you want like that. You must say what village you're from at the start of the show, with your headband on, of course. You must call the winner Hokage at least once during an episode and say believe it at least once. So keep that in mind. And if you want bonus points, you can do some hand jutsus.
Okay, bonus points. All right.
If Chris loses, but who knows? I would love to see Colin do some hand signs. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to learn. I'm like, Brian, maybe I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Got to watch some YouTube stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, boys, here we go. Question number 1. This is a kind of a freebie because I had no idea at the time of this, but whatever. Will there be anything related to GTA 6? Everyone said yes. GTA 6 won most anticipated game. There you go. Freebie for everyone. So everyone gets 1 point.
Okay.
Everybody gets 1.
Everyone gets 1. Okay, nice and friendly. Number 2. Will we see anything new from Bethesda Game Studios? Let's see here. Chris said no. Colin said yes. Dustin said no. That's a no for everybody. That's a no. So like Chris and Dustin get points. Nice. Nothing from them. Oh, also, I have some stuff from Mr. Chris Solar, James Solar, our LSM historian. Not paid, of course. Got to keep him
unpaid historian, like most historians are.
Yeah, exactly. So I got some stuff in here for some double checking, so it's good. He's got some fun notes in here, so thank you for putting the effort doing that. Okay. Number 3. Will COG be pleased with Xbox's efforts at the show? Chris said yes. Colin said no. Dustin said yes. Okay, I asked COG, and this is what COG said. Quote, not much presence at all, minus ads on PC Game Pass and the cringy, this is an Xbox advertisement. This vision of everything as an Xbox will be realized, but I'm still not feeling the implementation. Outer Worlds 2 was the biggest excitement for me. Adore the franchise. Then the PS5 logo announcement stole the thunder moments later. Haha. That's a no. He reiterated. So
I'm back in the game.
Yeah, that's right. Colin gets a point right there. So yeah,
Thank
Colin was
God.
not too pleased.
Tied up.
That's right. Number 4 right here. Will Sony show a new IP? Chris said no. Colin said yes. Dustin said no. The answer is yes. Intergalactic Heretic Prophet, brand new IP from Naughty Dog. Gotta be pretty pleased with that, Colin.
Yeah, I think I'm excited about the IP, but yeah, I'm excited to be, get a little bit of a, just get some points on the board while it's time,
That's right.
All right.
Okay. Number 5, will Metroid Prime 4 Beyond get a release window or date besides 2025? All 3 of you said no. The answer is no. All 3 of you get a point. Well done, boys. Nintendo is silent, even if their entire system is leaking. They refuse to speak. They stick to their guns. Okay. Number 6, will any more Xbox releases be announced for PlayStation? Chris said yes. Colin said no. Dustin said no. The answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
The Outer Worlds 2 was announced for PlayStation or PS5. So there you go. Point for Chris.
So it's 4-4-3 right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Keep track. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, will we see new footage of Fable? Chris said no. Colin said yes. Dustin said yes. The answer is no. We did not see any new footage of Fable. So that's a point for Chris. Number 8, any hints from Nintendo about their next hardware? Chris said yes. Colin said no. Dustin said no. The answer is nothing. Zip. Nada. So point for Colin and Dustin. Number 9.
5-5-4. Yeah.
Anything from Resident Evil? All 3 of you said yes. The answer is unfortunately no, though. We did not see anything from Resident Evil.
Okay.
Despite all the leaks and teases. Okay. Number 10. What color will Keely's shoes be? Chris said white. Colin and Dustin said black. The answer is black. It's the main color of his shoes. They were very sparkly, though. Had some glitter on that.
Okay.
Okay. Number 11. Will From Software announce a new game? Chris said no. Colin said no. Dustin believed and said yes. And your faith has paid off, Dustin.
I would have said no now. Thinking back on it, I don't know why I said that.
Well, you were right. Elden Ring Night Rain is a standalone game. So that's brand new.
I forgot I said that.
Yes.
666. Ominous.
Nice.
Yes. Okay. Number 12. How long will the Game Awards YouTube archive be? I said it's usually around the 3 hour and 30 minute mark. The closest guess wins. Chris said 3 hours and 20 minutes. Colin said 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 33 seconds. Dustin said 3 hours, 37 minutes, and 14 seconds. The answer is 3 hours and 42 minutes and 4 seconds. So that is a point for Dustin since he was the closest.
Wow.
Taking the lead.
Damn.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Number 13. Will either Judas or BioShock have a new trailer? All 3 of you said yes, you wanted to believe, but the answer is no.
Yeah.
Ken has let us down.
I don't even feel bad.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
I don't feel bad.
Number 14. Will an Imagine Dragons song play at any time during the show? Chris said yes. Colin said yes. Dustin said no. I believe the answer is no. I did not hear anything. Neither did James in his spreadsheet or anything like that.
Wow, you're taking a 2-point lead here.
Nailed it.
You know what? I would have bet on Imagine Dragons, though. So
I'm happy to be. I'm so happy to be wrong.
All right. Number 15. Will the word industry be said over 4 times during the show? All 3 of you said yes. The answer is yes. I have some notes here from Mr. Solar. Jeff said it at least twice at the top of the show. Jeff said it at once before Best Action Game. Jeff said it again, introducing the Civ 7 Orchestra. I think Joseph Ferris said the industry, but he was mumbling. Jeff said it talking about layoffs. Jeff said it again about introducing Hideo Kojima. So, yes, very much said 4 times. Well done, gentlemen.
Okay.
Okay.
977.
Yeah. Okay.
Commanding.
Number 16. Will anyone get political on stage? Now, this was an interesting one. I had to go back and listen to what I said during all this. And we agreed that labor issues would be political. And we all know there was some of that. So the answer is yes. Since we're counting labor issues, Sven Vinke brought up the idea of treating developers with respect and not laying off workers for the sake of short-term profit. That was during the Game of the Year presentation. He was the one that made that. So yes, we're going to count that. So all 3
plus
of you,
that whole dude's presentation, right? From Tencent or whatever.
Yeah, all that stuff. So all of you get a point.
All right.
Okay.
These pushes aren't good for Chris and I.
Yeah.
We'll see. Number 17. Will there be a Meta Quest ad? All 3 of you said yes. The answer is yes. There was an Amazon ad for discount on Quest, Amazon branded ad about the Quest, also an Arkham Shadows ad, which is Meta Quest exclusive. So all 3 of you get a point there. Well done. Okay. There's a garbage truck going on right now. Hold up. Pause. You hear that?
Is that a fire truck, maybe?
No, it was
You're
a garbage
next.
truck. Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
They're dumping a fire right there.
Let's see. Number 18 here. Will we see anyone get shot in the Mafia trailer?
Oh, yeah.
Chris said yes.
This is the one that pissed me off, yeah.
Colin said yes. Dustin said no. The answer is no.
Damn,
We didn't
Dustin's
actually
definitely
pay
gonna
off.
win.
We didn't see anyone actually get shot. We saw someone shooting like a gun.
Yeah,
But no one actually getting shot.
That was the only one that I remembered to pay attention to.
Okay. Number 19. How long will the trailer be for the final game reveal? Chris said 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Colin said 81 seconds. Dustin, being cute, Colin. Dustin said 1 minute, 47 seconds. The last trailer was Intergalactic, which was 4 minutes and 33 seconds. So that means Chris wins since he had the high. So that is a point for Chris. Okay, dude, this was one of the most contested things in the entire rundown we had going on here. Number 20, will we see Phil Spencer smile? It must be very clear. Okay, so we had a couple things in here. I posted a couple screenshots in our Discord for the council to observe. And there was arguments placed by some of the contestants to define what a smile was, which is very nice. I liked that. So the council voted, and the council voted in favor of yes. I don't know if I would have given it, but we let the council decide. The council is the law. So that is a point for yes. Chris said yes. Colin said no. Dustin said yes.
Buried.
Can I say something? One of the funniest things. I didn't even bother reading the rest of this because I was just like, you guys have fun, because this line cracked me the fuck up. Dustin said, a smile isn't defined by someone's lips. It's true. But I understand, but like out of context, like I had no idea that this was happening. And this is the first thing I saw. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Such a Larry David-ass conversation.
Yeah, it was awesome. Okay. Number 21. How many non-gaming celebrities will we see on stage? Celebrities known for their work before video games count, like Norman Reedus. Also not including musical acts like 21 Pilots. But I said if a musician played on stage, but they also gave an award or something like that, that counts later on. So Chris said 2. Colin said 5. Dustin said 4. Remember, the person, if they get it exactly right, also gets 2 points. The answer, from what I saw, was 7 at least. I'm going to give you some of the celebrities. Harrison Ford. Obviously, everyone knows Harrison Ford. Isabella Merced, she's in like an American actress, songwriter, and all that kind of stuff. I looked at all these people's IMDb's and stuff like that. She was mostly known for like Transformers Last Night. Shannon Woodward, she was an actor. Before this, she was on that show, Raising Hope on Fox, but she's also I think she's Dina in The Last of Us Part 2 as well. We had, I don't know how you say this guy's name's Khalid, Khlid, Khalid. He's a musician. Ella Purnwell, she's from Yellow Jackets. She's the girl from
Fallout,
the Fallout
right?
TV show.
Yeah,
but she's on Yellow Jackets, Tim Burton's Miss Pickerine's Home for all these things. So she's an actor long before that, known for that. Jonathan Nolan, he is a television series producer, persons of interest in Westworld. His brother is director Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Snoop Dogg was up there. He did play, but he also was up there on stage with his son. We did not count his son. So we have more than 7. We had like people like Salim, who is from House of Creed Origins, House of Dragon, all that kind of stuff. I didn't even count him because IMDb said his most known thing is Assassin's Creed Origins. I think that's what most people know him from. So, but it doesn't matter. It was the high. So that goes to Colin, who gets a point.
Yeah. Great.
That was a nightmare. I don't think I'm going to do one like that in the future.
Fair enough.
Okay. Number 23. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's go back real quick. Number 22. What will Micah rate Keely's outfit out of 10? Exact number gets 2 points. Chris said 6. Colin said 7. And Dustin said 5. Micah said 9, which I was kind of shocked about.
Oh.
But Micah really dug his outfit. So that goes to Colin, who has the high. That's another point for Colin.
All right.
Just one, right?
Just
It was
one.
2 for direct.
Exact.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you get exact, but yeah.
Okay.
Same for this one as well. What will Maddie rate the show out of 10? Chris said 6. Colin said 8. Dustin said 7. Maddie gave it a 9. So that point also goes to Colin.
I might have lost my lead.
How many points do you have, Dustin?
I have count 13.
I have 12. So
Oh. Uh-oh.
Number 24. How many awards will not get the full production? For instance, awards done off the main stage without a proper build and all that kind of stuff like that. Exact number gets 2 points. Chris said 10. Colin has said 15. Dustin said 11. And I have, for the answer, 16, which James also had. So that goes to Colin as well.
Oh,
Another
boy.
point. Okay, here we go. Number 25. Who will win Game of the Year worth 2 points? Chris said Balatro. Colin said Shadow of the Year Tree. And Dustin said FF7 Rebirth. Everyone was wrong, so no one gets a point. Wow. Okay, guys, so I have my tally here, and we can line these up just to be double sure. We're going to double check everything. I have Chris at 10, Colin at 13, and Dustin at 13.
Uh-oh.
I have 13 for myself. Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
So what do we do?
We have a tiebreaker. Now, I'm going to pitch a couple ideas to you guys, depending on how elaborate you want to get. We could do something simple between you two. It could be simple as a coin flip, like that. We could do a thing where you each guess a number between 1 and 10. Or you guys could verse each other in like a game if you want. If you want to fight each other in Street Fighter or something like that. Whatever you guys want to do, how elaborate you want to get, it's up to you two.
How do you want to do it, Dustin?
I have a proposal.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm okay co-sharing this win with Colin and just having Chris be the loser in the Naruto headband. I don't know if our official here would sanction that. If there needs to be a winner, I get it, but
I think there needs to be a winner because the audience would be pissed. There needs to be blood to some extent.
Yeah, it should just be something random, I guess. Then, right? I mean,
do you want a coin flip?
What do you think?
Or I could guess a number. Chris could hear the number as well. You guys could step away for a second. I can tell Chris the number between 1 and 10. And you guys will both guess a number. You can use the same number if you want.
If I have to wear a Naruto headband by a fucking coin flip from getting a tied amount of points.
Well, you should have predicted better. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it is a little anticlimactic, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it depends how elaborate you guys want to get.
We should punt until there's like another, like a state of play or something, and then have a face off on that with like 5 more questions.
You guys want to wait?
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm okay.
Okay. I think your audience is going to be upset about that, though.
No,
but-
I think that's no.
Okay.
Let me explain. Let me explain from a sports perspective. Is like in hockey, when you get to overtime, if you're tied, you have 5 minutes at 3-on-3. And then if you don't solve it in that point, then you have a shootout. And most people hate the shootout because it seems anticlimactic. It's like, we did all this and now it's just like whoever scores more out of 5 goals on breakaways is. I think that the audience will hopefully understand this is a more satisfying end that will be skill-based,
Okay.
Skill-based.
So a state of play. Who's the best prognosticator?
What do you think a state of play is going to be, though?
In the coming months, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, Chris, what do you have to say?
Well, I was gonna say, so like, what's happening in the sense that like, are we playing this game again for the next state of play?
My suggestion, honestly, is that you have already lost, and now Dustin and I play to see who joins you. In the punishment.
Okay.
That's my suggestion, like a round robin sort of thing.
I don't like taking Chris out of the runnings.
We could bring Chris in, but he'd have to have a handicap, or we would. Yeah, he would have to be at a deficit.
We would already be at a. I thought it would be like.
Should we add?
We're all
should
playing
we
the
add?
game. We'll keep our existing points.
Okay.
So like
How many
10,
points do you
13,
have?
13.
10.
Oh, 10. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's do that. Let's just.
Okay. You want to extend it one more, like a final showdown?
I don't know if
like-
I like that either, though, because
Yeah,
Colin
okay.
and I very clearly did better than Chris.
Right.
And for Chris to come in and potentially do better in another game and clinch the victory, I don't think that's right.
Well, you better be on your fucking toes.
Should we all think about it?
I mean, it's up to you guys. I think you guys should settle this here and now in some way.
Yeah, that is true.
But if you want to do something more elaborate, it's up to you guys. I think you guys should duke it out in something, whether it be luck or booting up Street Fighter 2 or something. I don't know, playing a couple rounds, something like that.
Tetris.
You can do Tetris round, whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm confident.
there's like a Tetris PvP game, right? There's like Tetris Battle or something. I can't remember. I played a long time ago.
Pure score based.
Oh, score-based Tetris.
I mean, we
Okay.
could do that, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of do like the idea of settling it, but if I lose, I'm going to be a bitch about it. I mean, let's just
let's just have it be a cliffhanger then. I mean, we don't need to solve it right this second.
But we got to figure out how to solve it, period. That's the only thing.
There's like, I don't know. I don't know when the next state of play will be. So who knows? That
I have
might
an
be a
idea.
while. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
1 to 3 questions about the Xbox show between Colin and I. It's completely outside of us. It won't remove Chris. We'll have a resolution in the near future. We can include it. I don't know where we publish it or how we do it, but that would be like a quick little lightning round.
Maybe, okay, I could try to work with the Dukes and maybe get some Xbox questions for you guys. You want 3 questions about each? Or no, 3 total?
Do 5 because that's less of a likelihood of another
Xbox
tie.
questions. Okay. So you want to do this for the Xbox thing. Where do you want to do the results? Or you guys just want to figure it out, then the audience will find out just when it happens on a show?
Yeah, or we could just publish a pickup and just we could just record a pickup and publish a special episode on a Sunday or something,
Okay, yeah.
Like a 10-minute episode.
10-minute, yeah, that works.
Tiebreaker.
Okay, sure.
The great tiebreaker.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah, we could
right.
do an Xbox thing.
I like this. It's beneficial for the audience because they get more content out of it. We get a true winner. Let's make an agreement now. If for some reason Colin and I tie on the 5-question lightning round, then we flip a coin.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
But hey, real quick, try to make the questions. Well, it doesn't matter. I don't even want to get into it.
You have no say.
Yeah.
What the questions get to be.
You're right. Yeah.
You have no say.
Well, Brad, thanks for that.
Yes.
Appreciate
Chris, unfortunately, though, you did lose no matter what. So
Yeah,
start
it had to
picking
be
out
that
your
way.
headband. Figure out what village you want to be from.
Sand.
Get a sand headband. You got the hand signs down. Just remember to call one of them Hokage and say believe it once.
Chris, if you find it on Amazon, send me the link and we agreed on the betting that the company would pay for it, so you don't have to pay for that shit. So just send me.
I'm not buying this fucking thing.
Send me an Amazon link if you can find it there, and
Yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah. Okay.
And we'll buy for you, of course. All right, Brad, appreciate you. Everyone will talk to you again soon. Boys, it was good to be with you again. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye. Sacred Symbols, a PlayStation podcast, is a product and trademark of Last Stand Media and Colin's Last Stand LLC, and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is conceived by, is written by, and is directed by me, Colin Moriarty. My co-hosts are Chris Raygun Maldonado and Dustin Furman. The show is produced by executive producer Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by my best friend, Ramon Narvaez. As you know, all of Last Stand shows, including Sacred Symbols, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we're grateful for your thoughtful and kind contributions to our independent endeavor. Thank you.